Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of my 2017 Game of the Year coverage. My penultimate episode, if you will. We are winding down with 2017. Some of you, as I'm recording this, it is already 2018. In a few hours, it will be 2018 here. I'm recording this about 7:30 on Sunday night? Yeah, that's what today is. It's been a blur. I'm very bogged down by all of the Game of the Year stuff I've been doing. This is the second thing I've put together today for Game of the Year because I also put together my Irrational Passions Game of the Year content and sent it over to them today. So lots of games running through my head today. But thank you for joining me. Here are my honorable mentions. I'll be doing my top 10 games of the year tomorrow to ring in 2018, but today we've got honorable mentions. This isn't necessarily like 11 through whatever, some of it is, but this is also just other games that I wanted to highlight from the year, and so I come up with this little like honorable mentions, senior superlatives type of award. So without further ado, let's celebrate some games this year. Up first, we have the Wow, It Was a Great Year for Games When Uncharted Misses the Top 10 award, which is going to, of course, Uncharted The Lost Legacy. I loved Uncharted Lost Legacy. Spending an 8 to 10 hour adventure with Chloe and Nadine and fleshing out their characters was a ton of fun. I would gladly do it again or enjoy other side missions, side stories in that universe. But there was just so much goodness this year that retreading so much of what was in Uncharted 4 here just didn't wow me enough to crack the top 10. The open world section of the game ends up throwing the pacing off because it just kind of leaves you up to the player's discretion if they want to go and collect a whole bunch of tokens like I did, so the thrust of the main story got basically put on hold while I just wandered around aimlessly for a little while. And so it was an interesting approach, but it wound up missing the mark for me, and so it just misses the top 10. The Most Fun You'll Have Dying Alone 50 Times in 5 Minutes award goes to Super Rude Bear Resurrection. This is a game that was introduced to me via Amy Gilroy. She tweeted me while I was at PAX East and said, hey, you need to go check out this game. And it immediately evoked memories of Super Meat Boy when I did. It's very much a masocore platformer game where you're expected to die a lot. But the dev and I had just followed each other, so it would have been really weird if I had walked away and bailed. I had a ton of fun with the game, though. That initial impression seems to be what he's expecting and had accounted for, because the whole idea is, yeah, you can play it like Super Meat Boy if you want, but if you're not a crazy person, this game is made for you and mine too. Because the main catch of this game is that, yeah, you're going to die a lot, but every time you do, your body gets left behind, and it makes the game a little bit easier. So if you die jumping onto a spike, your body is still there, and now you can jump onto your body and not hit the spike that you died on before. And so you can kind of keep doing that. I definitely threw bodies away nonchalantly at some points in this game because I was like, no, it's going to be way easier for me to just throw a whole bunch of dead bodies over that set of spikes than it will be to actually like hit the precision platforming that I would need in some of those cases. So it was a ton of fun though, and I ended up beating the whole game, which is especially impressive compared to the like one world of Super Meat Boy that I played when that game came to PlayStation. So if that sounds like a kind of game for you, I highly recommend Super Rude Bear Resurrection. Ton of fun, very fast-paced, and you are rewarded for dying in a sense. Up next, the Most Fun You'll Have Dying with Friends 50 Times in 5 Minutes award goes to Death Squared. This is also admittedly the runner-up for the previous award. For the uninitiated, Death Squared is a 1 to 4 player puzzle game where each player controls cube-shaped bots as they maneuver a puzzle test chamber, a la something like a Portal or something like that. If you're playing alone, you control the bots yourself. But when you've got Joey Noelle, Ben Bellevue, and Lauren Wilson drunk and full of pizza on Lauren's couch, you each control one bot and have to try and coordinate to get each of these bots on their respective colors. But pesky little things like lasers and spikes and, just each other will get in the way and lead to a lot of death. A lot of death. But it will be hilarious. And yeah, solving the puzzles is great too, but watching Joey Noelle and Ben wage their pineapple pizza war on the battlefield of Death Squared is pretty damn epic as well. The This Is How You Do Mobile Games Nintendo award goes to, hey, it's a tie, a Normal Lost Phone and a last-minute edition Monument Valley 2. Nintendo hasn't really been able to crack the mobile market yet. I'm not counting Pokemon since they called their own shots on that one, but also they kind of fumbled what it could have been in the opening days of that one. Super Mario Run, disappointed, Miitomo, Fire Emblem Heroes, and Animal Crossing have all kind of failed to really capture the best elements of their respective franchises in the conversion to mobile. On the other hand, you have a game like A Normal Lost Phone, which came out earlier this year, which recognizes that you're playing this on a phone, and it steers headfirst into that. Your phone's OS gets replaced by the games, and you are basically trying to uncover the mystery of whose phone this is that you've picked up. The gameplay is a little voyeuristic as you search through text messages and emails and whatnot to kind of uncover the story, but they all work really well together, revealing the story of kind of a young person who's really trying to find who they are and the highs and lows that come with that journey of self-discovery. It was a wonderful little story that surprised me by how much ground it covered in really only an hour or so. Then on the flip side, you had Us2 releasing their follow-up to President Underwood's favorite mobile game, Monument Valley, the aptly named Monument Valley 2. I remember it getting stealth released at an Apple event earlier in the year, but I didn't know it had come to Android until a couple days ago when I basically pulled into work and saw somebody tweet about it. So I promptly downloaded it and within the next day or so beat it. It expands upon the puzzle ideas from the original game. You are tasked with guiding your avatars through a little series of optical illusion-based puzzles in beautifully designed levels filled with vibrant colors that make every second really worthy of being screenshotted and saved as like an unlock screen or your phone's background. The I don't know how, but they actually managed to bring me back to the franchise award goes to Assassin's Creed Origins. After hate finishing Assassin's Creed Unity, I swore off the series. Black Flag had tricked me into liking it, but turned out it was an anomaly in the franchise's history. But enough people were singing Origins praises, including Yusuf Mageed's personal love for the game and his tweets kind of detailing his connection to the game, that I decided to give it another shot. And then I proceeded to have a really good time for some 30 hours. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm a fan of the much more RPG-driven direction of this game, even if it is mostly just arbitrarily picking up new weapons and equipping the one that has the higher number attached to it. The duo of Bayek and Aya as your kind of main protagonists here are, I think, the most interesting Assassin's Creed characters we've ever had, and for me, as a fan of Shakespeare and whatnot, I love how Cleopatra and Caesar have been like incorporated into the story and how it's the history of the beginning of the Brotherhood, essentially. The origins of the Brotherhood, if you will. The dang I wish I played more on my PC award goes to Kingsway. This game immediately won me over and had me hooked at PAX East when I first played it. It's an old school RPG that plays out via a Windows 98 era operating system. You wander the world map in a window, you move from one location to the next, and a little pop-up loading window pulls up on the screen. Random encounters with enemies pop up and behave like spam. You kind of have to click around to defeat your enemies. Every item in your inventory folder is an icon that you can double-click or right-click to use and drag and drop. Control-Shift-Click selects multiple items. It's an ingenious game design element that I absolutely adored. I just wish it were more of a straightforward RPG instead of a permadeath roguelike, and I wish I was more of a PC guy in general, because then I would have put way more time into this game than I actually did. Up next, we have a double winner. The awards for holy cow, that E3 presentation completely turned me around, and hey, this is actually pretty good, go to Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. When details of a Mario and Rabbids crossover game for the Switch leaked, I scoffed and said, well, I'm never going to play that. But unlike the mug that Marty Sleva should have eaten when Ubisoft revealed Beyond Good and Evil 2, I actually ate something. Sort of. My words. I ate my words. I don't know. I was trying to find a way to link Marty and the mug and me and having to make a 180 on Mario plus Rabbids, but it sort of got away from me there. Anyway, the point is an extended look that we got of Mario plus Rabbids at that Ubisoft E3 conference sold me on the game. The fact that it was basically an XCOM clone, I was like, yep, I need to play that for myself. I need to experience what that is. And yeah, the rabbits are absolutely the worst part of the game, and the fact that you have to run through large swaths of nothing to get to the various battle arenas throughout the game kinda sucks, but apart from that, I had a ton of fun with the game. All of the characters have their own unique traits, so you can mix and match to suit your playstyle, although because it is a Mario plus Rabbids game, you have to have at least one of each, and because you've always got Mario in your party, you always basically have to have one Rabbid in your party as well, so you can never do the Mario, Luigi, Peach triple team or something like that. The game simplifies a lot of the XCOM mechanics, but it makes it, I think, more accessible and very enjoyable still. It also adds in fun traversal things, like you can barrel through your opponents and do a little bit of damage in the move phase, but you can also hop on your allies and, move further around the map than you would have been able to just running. I didn't have the patience to grind in the later part of the games for extra experience and money to buy new weapons and stuff, so I very much appreciated the game's decision to include a prompt at the beginning of each battle to go into easy mode, which basically gives you 150% of your health, as well as, I think, weakens the enemies a little bit. So it was a ton of fun. I had a great time with Mario plus Rabbids in a way that I was not expecting. And finally, the Yup, They Made Jared from Subway a Boss Fight award goes to South Park, The Fractured Butthole, because, yup, they made Jared from Subway a boss fight. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed these awards. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can read the full rundown of these awards in the description below. I will be back tomorrow with my official top 10 games of 2017 listing. And as always, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.